Do you run insurance offers, but are you stuck with scaling? Then native ads might be a great opportunity for you to scale up to 10, 15, 20 grand in profitable ad spend per day. Hi, my name is Marcel Sattler. I'm the founder of nativeadvertising.net. We are a platform about nothing but native ads, and we are one of the largest native advertising agencies out there. And insurance is one of the very key topics when it comes to native, because there are a lot of insurance companies out there. It doesn't matter in which country you are located or you're watching this video right now. Doesn't matter if it's in the US, in Europe, or in Asia. There is a lot of need to sell insurance products out there. And native can be a great opportunity here for you if you do run already insurance products such as health insurances, dental insurances, whatever. You know, the range is very huge. And why you should consider native now? Why it might be a good opportunity? So I guess, or I assume that you do run already Meta ads, for example. But you know, with Meta there's a struggle, everyone knows it, that Meta sometimes can be a bit difficult, especially if you want to scale. So in the beginning you see good results, but as soon as you want to scale with Meta, as soon as you want to scale with Meta, you get worse results. So the CPLs, the cost per leads, they are getting higher, and usually the lead quality also drops. And this is the moment when people start to consider native ads. And to speak also directly about realistic numbers, native ads is a great opportunity if you have around 2 to 3K ad spend per day on Meta. Then native ads is definitely a good fit for you. Everything below doesn't make sense because you still have a lot of opportunities with Meta itself. So there's no point to look for a different traffic source. But if you spend 2, 3, 4, 5 grand per day with Meta in insurance, in the insurance niche, then native might make sense. And why it makes sense? Because I'm sure if you were able to spend 8 grand per day on Meta, you would do so, isn't it? And the thing is why you're unable to do this, because if you spend more, the results are going worse and also the CPLs are getting higher. So you're currently in this stuck situation. And here you need a total switch in this case in order to ensure to get better results and to be able to scale. You know, with Meta itself, the problem here is that the algorithm is very smart. That's a good thing, but also a very bad thing, because the algorithm is smart and the algorithm is showing and presenting your ads to people which are in the middle of the funnel. And this is totally fine for a fast conversion, but sooner or later, there are no low-hanging fruits anymore. So you need to grab, or you need to walk higher to catch the next fruit here. And that's the problem. The Meta algorithm usually doesn't do that. You need to look for different traffic source. And here native is part of the game, because when we speak about native ads, we speak about ads or platforms like Taboola, Outbrain, MJD, Ref Content. I'm sure you have heard about them already in the past. But what's the interesting thing here is that native ads are very top of the funnel. So here is Meta, it's middle of the funnel, and native are one step higher. High doesn't mean better, higher just means people are less aware. So you catch people in a less aware status here. Because with Meta, again, the Meta algorithm, extremely smart and knows already, yep, for this person, your health insurance, for example, might be a good fit in the situation of their life in there right now. And with native, you don't have this. It's very broad, very top of the funnel. So therefore, the next step after your native ads is usually an advertorial. An advertorial is a landing page which looks like a newspaper article, but this is like hard selling. Here, the main idea is to bring a very cold, absolutely unaware person in the status of awareness. So when the person finishes to read the advertorial, he or she should know, no, I don't need this product or service or insurance, or yes, I definitely want this, I need it right now. And then clicking to the next page, which is the lead generation form. That's the main idea of native. And again, the thing why it worked that well is because you go one step further. It's like one step before Meta even. and therefore you have a way larger audience. It's also more difficult. That's out of a question. It's more difficult. It's in the beginning more expensive. You cannot just start with $50 or so like you did on Meta. You need a higher budget in the beginning. But as soon as you crack the code, it's very much fun because you see a lot of profits and also a lot of good leads, because the lead quality is the next thing here when we speak about native. So native are a bit older, or the audience, the demographics with native ads or on native ads are a bit older. So you have people 40 plus usually. And these kind of people, they usually settle, they live in a more good or better environment. You know, they have a job usually, they have a family, maybe kids are out of the house already. So they do have money. They're able to also take a decision. That's one thing which is positive. The other good thing here is they also pick up the phone, because as stupid as it sounds, a very young audience, people around 20, they don't like to pick up the phone anymore. They're afraid. They're like, drop me a message, whatever. They don't want to pick up the phone anymore. And with audience 40 plus, they do pick up the phone or call you back if they see they have a missed call. And lead quality is, generally speaking, a bit better, slightly better when it comes to native. However, the big idea here is to pre-qualify them already with the advertorial. So they are already aware, and then in the moment they drop their lead information and you call them as fast as possible in idle case, then they are still, or they still have the advertorial in the background with all the information here. And then they're like, yep, just tell me what the offers, what options do you have, and where can I sign? So that's the thing. The other thing is, and this is now a bit more the bad part of native, as mentioned in the beginning, it's more expensive, so you need in the beginning budget. And until everything is going to be profitable, it takes 4, 5, 6 weeks. Very important to understand. Native is nothing if you're looking for first day results. Then native is definitely the wrong traffic source for you. But if you're looking for long-term results, then native is worth it to consider it. Another very important thing which I want to mention when we speak about native is the whole infrastructure, the whole structure in the beginning you need. So you need to structure your native ads very differently than Meta. You're unable just to copy and paste the funnel. You need to create a whole new funnel. But again, as soon as you do this, you can run high profits with native. And why it's working so great? Because you have the funnel, you have the advertorial, and you catch people in a very unaware status, which works always great. Let's speak about money and budget. So from a budget, if you do run, for example, in the US, I would recommend you at least to run with at least $300 daily budget. That's the bare minimum, but don't try everything below. And that also means you need around 10 grand per month, just as an ad budget here. And also the setup and everything is way more expensive. But I like to visualize it like with a big container ship, you know? A big container ship, when the little boats are pushing it out of the harbor, until this big container ship starts the engine and starts to get 20, 22 knots, it takes a while. It takes a while. But as soon as this big vessel has 20 knots, and you want to stop it, it also needs a while to stop. So soon, what I want to say here is, as soon as you have the positive momentum and you're making money and you receive good leads quality, and everything is like very profitable for you, then you have such a positive momentum that it's not volatile as other platforms, that you don't need to sweat in the night and wake up full of sweat and you're like, oh my God, is Meta tomorrow still working for me? Fine. So that's not the case. As soon as you crack the code here, native ads are running and running and running and running. That's the very, very good thing, and that's the fun when we speak about native here. And last but not least, a key component when it comes to native is the scaling part. So native is a scaling channel. Native is not a channel you should try a new fancy offer. It's not a case. Native is for scale. And as soon as you have an offer which works and which converts, and you know already the advertorial and the ad structure you need, then you just can scale, scale, scale. And you can scale from $1,000 per day to 8 grand per day within a couple of days. It's not a big thing, you know. And from 8 grand to 12 grand, again, just a few days. It's nothing that you need to wait and duplicate and do some crazy strategies here in the background. Native is for scale there. So if you want to scale, And if you do already spend like 2, 3, 4 grand on Meta and you feel stuck and you really want more leads, better leads, whatever, then you should consider native platforms like Taboola and Outbrain. So if you consider now to start with native ads for your insurance product or offer, then feel free to also drop us a message at nativeadvertising.net. And yeah, let's see, maybe we can help you. I hope at least you like this video. If so, I would extremely appreciate if you give me a thumbs up, and of course when you subscribe to my channel and activate the bell to receive an update when I upload a new video about native ads here on YouTube. Have a good one. See you next time.